Welcome, everyone. We'll get about another minute and then we'll begin our program. Thank you for coming. All right, why don't we go ahead and get started? Good afternoon to everyone and welcome to Connecting with Metro for our Disabled Veteran Community, our DVBEs. This is a Metro Contractor Development and Bonding Program administered by Meriwether and Williams Insurance Services. My name is Angela Gibson Shaw and I serve as the Outreach Coordinator for the DVBE Program. To all of the veterans on the call, let me first thank you for your service and for contributing to job creation in the U.S. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's begin by taking a quick look at today's agenda. We'll begin with welcome from Meriwether and Williams Insurance Services, followed by special greetings from Metro, and then we'll hear about the Contractor Development and Bonding Program, which is designed to assist diverse and veteran-owned businesses successfully bid on Metro projects. Afterwards, you'll meet and hear from veteran organizations that will have additional resources for your business. Before I introduce the first speaker, why don't we do a little virtual networking? Please feel free to take a moment and put your contact information in the chat box at the bottom of the screen. Someone may want what you have. Also, encourage questions in the chat box as well. And they're going to be monitored today by Meriwether and Williams Insurance Services Account Manager for Metro, Rick Casillas. Rick, wave for your hands. He's your account manager for Metro, and he'll be ensuring that we get the questions answered and focused in the right direction and answered by the right people. And he'll also be your contact in the program to walk you through being contract ready with Metro. Thanks, Rick. The engineer for today's program is Carlos Ray. He also serves as the program and marketing coordinator for the Contractor Development and Bonding Program. Thank you, Carlos. Now let's begin our program. Please welcome Lakeisha Bearden, Project Development Manager at Meriwether and Williams Insurance Services. There we go, very good. Lakeisha?
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to give a special thank you to all the veterans. Thank you for your service and thank you for your support of this country. My name is Lakeisha Bearden. I'm the Program Development Manager here at Meriwether Williams Insurance Services, and we administer the Contractor Development and Bonding Program for LA Metro. So again, thank you for attending. And next slide, please. We have a great show for you today, great lineup. Is there a next slide? I want to take a moment to acknowledge Metro's commitment and investment and to addressing this historical barriers that make it difficult for small and diverse contractors to participate in public works projects. We have small business advocates like Keith Compton, and here on today's meeting is Olga Lopez, Senior Diversity and Economic Development on the Department of Economic Development. Metro takes great pride in its mission to really take these actions by small businesses and their engagement in Metro projects very seriously. So it's a pleasure to work with advocates, small business advocates like Olga and Keith. And I've been working with Olga for the past several years, so I'm excited for her to be here today. So Olga, without further ado, if you could say a few words.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Angela and Lakeisha and the rest of the Meriwether and Williams team. Thank you for inviting us to participate. I'm here on behalf of Keith Compton, welcoming today's DVBEs, the community, to this workshop, this online workshop today. It is definitely our pleasure Indeed, at Metro, we value small businesses and the relationships that we have. We are committed to the growth and success of the small business, and we definitely aim at increasing the opportunity for small businesses through the various efforts that we provide so that you can have greater access and so that there's
I hope we ever rehire me.
hello, hi. And so we're very delighted to be here and to welcome you and to encourage you to take advantage of the opportunities that are available with our agency. In the event you're not sure where to access all the information that we have available for our small business community, I encourage you to visit Metro's vendor portal. In the vendor portal, you're going to have an opportunity to learn about the existing, the current contracting opportunities that we have available, as well as the upcoming contracting opportunities. Most importantly, also, one of the things that you'll be able to find in our vendor portal is the events that we host throughout LA County. We have for the past several years, as you all are aware, we have been hosting our events virtually. So we encourage you to join you. What is great about that, the outreach events that we include in our vendor portal, it's not just our Metro events, but it's also events such as today's that is included in the calendar, and other sister agencies who are always looking for DVBEs and other small business community to access the opportunities that are available. So please take advantage, take notes, ask a lot of questions, and we wish you all the best. Again, remember our vendor portal, metro. In case I didn't say it earlier, metro.net/connect. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Olga. I'd also like to take a moment to introduce my colleague, Robert Laurie. Robert Laurie is our field support project manager. Robert's role is designed to maximize opportunity for small, minority, and disadvantaged businesses, and actively prevent default on projects by identifying potential technical areas of concern. Robert brings nearly 30 years of construction experience and has been a great asset to our team. You'll hear more from Robert later on in our presentation. So let's go ahead and get started. Next slide, please.
Wait, I'm sorry, we're looking for the DVB, the CDAP presentation?
Yes, please.
Okay, give me 1 second.
There we are. Welcome to all our DVBE suppliers. Great group. Okay, there we go.
Thanks, Carlos. We'll go ahead and go to the next slide. So a little bit about us. Meriwether & Williams Insurance Services is by license a commercial property and casualty risk management consulting firm. We've been in business for 25 years now. This year actually marks our 25th anniversary. So we're truly excited about the work we've done over the past 25 years. But what we're probably best known for is our contractor development and bonding programs that we administer throughout the state of California. We have programs in San Francisco, the city and county of San Francisco. We have programs in Oakland, as well as programs in the Central Valley. And we also have programs here and obviously Los Angeles County with LA Metro, the City of Los Angeles, as well as the County of Los Angeles. Not to mention, we too are a small women minority-owned business. So we really do have the experience, and we understand a lot of the hurdles and barriers that are placed on small businesses, because we obviously are a small business too. So we understand, and we can really connect with all of you and some of the trials and tribulations you may be experiencing, as well as the joys and successes that come when we are successful in public works. So next slide, please. So why are contractor development and bonding programs like LA Metro's so important to agencies? And it's really because they're built to reduce the barriers and bonding capacity to enable greater and successful participation of small, local, minority, women, and disabled veteran-owned businesses and public contract opportunities. And we do this really with what we've coined as our 4 pillars of contractor development: assessment, bonding assistance and technical support, education, training, and contractor support, and our prime partner program. Next slide, please. So before we get into the nuts and bolts of the 4 pillars, I really want to talk a little bit to you about what is bonding. Bonding is guarantees a contract's completion. It's mandated by law on all public works projects, and it really was the Miller Act of 1935, which required that all public works projects over $100,000 require bonds. Bonds really are there to protect the agency, but it's also there to protect taxpayers' dollars. Little after the Little Miller Act was instated, and this varies from state to state, but in some states and some agencies, they really require bonds on projects under $100,000. So you really would have to just inquire about what the bond limit is for that particular agency or for that in that particular state. Bonding is a 3-party agreement between the surety, the owner, as well as the contractor. Bonding protects, again, the owner as well as taxpayer dollars from any projects that aren't completed or any losses that are experienced as a result of a project. Bonding cannot be purchased. It's not like insurance. You have to qualify for bonds. So the underwriters, the sureties are really looking for credit, looking at your credit, looking at your character, and looking at your capacity. Credit, your cash flow, your financial statements, your working capital, your banking relationships, your personal credit, your line of credit, capacity, your equipment, what type of equipment do you have, your personnel, do you have a business plan, your past and current projects, where they bonded or not bonded works, your character, your relationships that you have with your project owners, with your subcontractors, your vendors, your suppliers, your CPA, your bookkeeper, your broker. It really is about doing a very detailed assessment of where you are with your company. Unlike insurance, there's no losses to be expected. The surety is expecting for you to indemnify yourself. They want to make sure that the project, if you don't complete it successfully, they have a way to go and ensure that they're protected as well. It also bonds ensure that owners receive finished product at negotiated price, that all subcontractors and vendors and suppliers are paid in full. And it really is a pre-qualification instrument for contractors about their capacity to do the work. Next slide, please. So some of our program services include assisting contractors with obtaining a bond line, increasing your bond line. So if you are a contractor currently and you don't currently have a bond line or a broker, we can assist you with finding a broker for you. We, like been in business for over 25 years and established healthy and strong relationships with surety and brokers who want to do business with small businesses and really help them with increasing your capacity. If you currently have a broker, then we will work with their existing broker. Our contract development and capacity building technical assistance services, this is kind of what we're going through today. Our contract-based financing is a new program and added value to CDABP, and Robert will be talking a little bit about that. When you enroll in our program, you will be assigned a dedicated account manager. And that account manager acts just like a business development manager, helping you with navigating the landscape of public works. Our program also offers collateral support for bid payment and performance bond. So basically, if you're looking to bid on a project and collateral is needed, the Metro and the City of Los Angeles and the County of Los Angeles put up a pool of funds for you. And that is in excess of $250,000 or 40% of the contract value, whatever, not to exceed $250,000. We also provide cost subsidies at a maximum of $3,200 for CPA prepared financial statements. So if your broker, your surety asks and requests that you provide them with CPA prepared financial statements, we can provide a subsidy for that request. We also have what we call our LA Contractor Weekly. It's a weekly bid opportunities and networking events and outreach opportunities that we've done a thorough landscape of what's going on out there in the county and what type of project opportunities are out there for our small business contractors and what type of networking events are there, what education and training is out there. We really wanted to provide a one-stop shop for our contractors so that they don't have to go from this portal to that portal to find opportunities. So the LA Contractor connection really is the opportunity for you to kind of, after your long work day, sit down, map out your week, identify opportunities, take a look at what's coming up so that you can network and you don't have to bounce from portal to portal. Next slide. So a little bit more about what our dedicated account managers do. Once you're enrolled in the program, you will be assigned a dedicated account manager who will sit down with you and get an assessment of where you are, where your business is currently. Or do you have experience with public or private works? What is some of your short and long-term goals? Do you have a certification? Just really going into detail about what your company is and what is it about, what are some of the goals that you have in the public works arena. From there, we'll develop a work plan. The work plan really is designed to provide you with a step-by-step on a lot of the tricks of the trades and lessons learned of things that we know that are required to be successful in public works. We also help you with a contractor profile. Some contractors don't necessarily have a website, don't have a capability statement, and the contractor profile acts very similar to a capability statement. It's your marketing tool. It helps you market your business. We list, whether or not you have the certifications, if you're registered with DIR, if you're bonded, past projects that you've had, pictures of those projects. We also help with, providing with your NICS codes, listing your NICS codes, as well as just giving a brief description of your overall company and the objective of your company. Very great tool to use, especially when you're in a networking atmosphere. Your business card may just not be able to provide the receiver with enough information about who you are and what you do. We also do bid and document review and contract completion support, and Robert will talk a little bit more about that. Our monthly workshops and coaching. So we provide monthly workshops, construction-related topics, joint venture, for example, joint venture, contract negotiation. These are some of the topics that we provide throughout the course of the year. But in addition to that, we also have a construction training academy, which consists of our bidding and estimating and our contract award and management. And we have a specific training, I believe in spring, that is directed for Metro. So how to bid on Metro projects. This is an opportunity to really take a deep dive into what some of the Metro requirements are, working with some of the Metro subs, working with some of the Metro prime contractors who actually teach our classes, help us teach our classes, because we think it's important for the contractors to build relationships, not only with Metro staff, but some of the Metro prime contractors, because as you know, primes say, or individuals say, you want to do business with people that you know. So this is an opportunity to be in build those relationships in these small classes that allows you to really engage. We also do a mock bid so that you can build a team within a team to identify some of the relationships that you may have with other colleagues. You can even joint venture with them or use them on some of your projects. So it really is an opportunity to learn how to work on Metro projects. And then we have our contract award and management. And these classes, again, the training, the academies they run from about 6 to 7 weeks training. And it really does help you with bidding. And then you have your contract award and management. Now that you bid and you've been awarded, how can you successfully complete the project? We work with project managers, chief estimators, project executives. These individuals have great extensive knowledge in this area and field, and they want to give back. They want to really help contractors build their capacity, their knowledge, and their construction management skills. So that, I talked a little bit about our prime partner, but that's where our prime partners really come into play. They really help us with helping contractors learn how to pre-qualify with them and the tricks of the trade and lessons learned in this construction industry. Next slide. So now I'll turn it over to my colleague, Robert Lowry.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. And I'm going to continue speaking a little bit about our program and some of the things that go along with the field support services and our new service of the Contract Finance Assisting Program, better known as CFAP. So let's go ahead and get started with this. Next slide, please. So Lakeisha was talking about the bidding estimating class. So, once you have completed that, now we're talking about the next steps. You're apt here to bid on a real a bidding opportunity, project opportunity with Metro. With your assigned contract manager, we all will, attend the pre-bid of the opportunities that are out there, that we get a list from Metro constantly. So we're making sure that we're representative there. With the pre-bid, we get the specs and plans, and I go through those specs and plans just to see if there's any red flags, anything, risks that, might affect you bidding this job. We go through all the documents that's there. I know if you were to see it for the first time, you might see 200-300 pages and get overwhelmed. But we're here to help you stay focused and go step by step through these documents to make sure that you are the lowest successful, responsive, and now best value bidder. Thus is now we're seeing a trend with best value along with the low bid. So all these little factors, come into play when you're putting your bid together. So one thing I do, we have a little caveat here. It's like we cannot discuss your numbers and say, hey, you're off this or that. I can give you suggestions. Hey, did you include this number? Did you do this? Is the only thing I can do with your numbers. We can help you make sure that you identify your general conditions, general requirements. with some of my templates, but once again, I can't tell you what numbers to put in there. So that's a little bit of caveat with that. So once we are ready to do a contract bid document review, we'll get the account manager, we'll set up the meeting, we'll go through this, and we're going through the documents to make sure that you're filled out everything, you're signing, it's notarized. You don't want to leave anything blank on these documents. If that happens, you might be deemed as unresponsive. You might be disqualified. So that's why we'll go through and say, put NA here on this line. So it shows Metro or whoever you're bidding to that you have read it, you understand, and it doesn't apply. Do not skip anything going through the process. This could be a couple meetings we could do this. We'll go through it initially, send it back to you, make changes. We can sit down again to go through. And we'll just go through the plans and specs and say, hey, did you read the architect plans sheets versus electrical? If you're electrical, as you know, don't just go to your electrical sheets. You want to go to all the sheets and read the general notes, because there's things throughout the plans that is something that you need to bid on. And the specs, there's mock-ups that's in there. There's a lot of different things that has a cost associated. So that is why it's a very detailed process when you're bidding. You want to make sure that you have enough time to do this. If the bid is due in 2 weeks, that's great, but it's kind of hard to help when you come to us 2 days before the bid is due. The more time that we have, the better that we can assist you. After the bid has been submitted, and it's public works, so all bids are public, so you'll see the numbers. You can request a debrief, either with us or the hiring agency or the whoever's hiring you, so you can kind of see some of your deficits, like, hey, why was my number off? They're not going to give you a lot of detail. They can just give you suggestions, the percentages, and so that way that helps you improve next time you bid. All right, next slide, please. So this step here is contract support. This is to the completion of the job. So you've won the job, you filled out the paperwork. We have a kickoff where I have a job start checklist that I can provide to you. Make sure you have identified everything that you need for this project. It's best to do this so you're not skipping something and you're like, oh man, I forgot this. Well, this checklist is a good guide to help you make sure you have identified everything. We do a kickoff meeting with yourself, the hiring agency, our funds control, because these jobs, majority of the times, have bond and collateral. Metro does put up collateral, like Lakeisha talked about earlier. But we'll sit down and go through what is required during the life cycle of the project. We have monthly check-ins. We do the billings and payments, work with you to make sure that you have got this billing done correctly, because you don't want it to be rejected, because payment, money, it's times there. We do a schedule. I love to look at the schedule to see how you guys are doing, and within the master schedule, if there's delays, how can we accelerate, move things along. The principal status report, contract status report are two different reports that I receive, and look at that and compare to make sure that, hey, everyone is reporting the same thing and is in sync. We do the field visits to go out there and do like a safety audit and just see how the job is going. Work with your field team and help them with any barriers that's going on out there in the field to keep moving along. And the critical one is the change orders. As you know, all jobs are going to have change orders. We'll sit down with you and walk you through how to put a really good change order packet together, change order requests. That is like telling a story, because you want to protect yourself. You want to get the money for the, this change order that's being driven. So how do you put that together? The more information you put in there, the easier it is for the review and get approval. After we're now at the closeout stage, so we've gone through the project, we're ready to close out. What are some of the steps that you need to do for closeout? I'm here to help you with that. That is the warranties. You also have your as-built, all this information that's required, that's also that you will see within the specs. The specs will call out what do you need to submit during the closeout. So we'll help you get that. We'll get that NOC, notice of completion, from the hiring agency. We then would turn that over to the surety brokers so we can start the process of releasing the collateral that goes back into Metro's pool. And once everything is done, you have a zero balance on funds control, then your bond is released. So we're going to stay with you through the whole entire process. So there's a lot of, we're here dedicated for this process here of contract completion support. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is, like we said, this is our new service that we are now doing, contract finance assistance program. I'm not going to read everything that's over there, but it's a contract base. So if you're on a project and it's a metro project, say for instance, or city or whatever, there's a third-party funds administrations that will be required, just like funds control. So we use your contract as kind of like your collateral for this project. It's up to maximum of $250,000 per contract. There are some exceptions. We can go above and beyond, but we're going to sit here and work with you. We would love to get everyone pre-qualified in advance before you even get on these jobs. So the pre-qualification process takes about 30 days because there's a lot about back and forth there. So, it's really critical that we get involved with you earlier. And you can see the interest rate right now is 6.25%, but that has fluctuated up and down currently. And there's a 1% origination fee, which, as you can see, which is a lot cheaper, lower interest rate than a line of credit or using your credit card. As you can see, there's a lot of benefits to the CFAP program. We'll do these cash flows, work in progress. We will monitor, update as you go. These loans are typically a year or less. So we will do your cash on hand at the beginning, the cash on hand at the end of each month, and we will factor in when do you start repay this loan. The process, your suppliers get paid, the loan gets paid, then you get repaid. So there is steps to do that to make sure that the loan is getting back to our partners, which is PACE. We have teamed up with PACE to administer the CFAP for the regional program in LA County. So there's a lot more. We do have a 2-day seminar on this. So if you're interested in CFAP, after you get enrolled into the program, then we can have a more of a deep dive, very technical on the CFAP program. So with that, I believe that is it for me. And I want to thank everybody for allowing me to speak on this topic. So if you have any other additional questions or more information, please contact, here's our contact information. But with that, I'm going to turn it back over to our MC.
Thank you, Robert. That was great. Great information, and man, talk about personalized service. We're so glad to be able to convene today and inform everybody about all of the tools and resources that we have to groom veteran business contractors for success. So now that you've heard about the Contractor Development and Bonding Program, let's hear about the program's benefits from one of our program advocates, Gene Hale.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi. Let me introduce Gene. He's the CEO of GNC Equipment Corporation, and his company is engaged in the sale and lease of construction equipment, materials, and supplies, and he's also a registered DVBE. Gene is going to take a few minutes and tell us about the program benefits. Welcome, Gene.
Thank you very much, Angela. Most of you know Angela is my sidekick. She's the president of GLAC. I'm the chairman, so we've been working together for a number of years, and so we understand what's needed out there in terms of trying to get small businesses, especially DVBE, some business. So being a DVBE, I think it's very important that the companies, we have to find out where the projects are, first of all. And once you find out where they are, then you have to advertise your services to them. For an example, if Metro puts out a bid to build a rail system, you want to find out who are the prime contractors that are bidding. And then you want to make sure you do some marketing at that point. You want to send your information to those contractors. You don't really know who's going to win. And I just caution you that sometimes prime contractors want you to be sole source to them. I wouldn't do it because you don't really have an idea who's going to win the contract. So don't fall for that trap. But the other thing is that you have to sort of start finding ways to network with those contractors, those prime contractors. And we know that most of them are not people of color. And so how do you get into that cycle? Well, you have to join some of their organizations. Like we are members of the Associated General Contractors because that's where all the contractors are. And that way you can network with them at their little mixers. You have an opportunity to get them one-on-one to talk about those things that you provide. And so I think that's very important. Also, if you have relationships with your local public officials, you can also ask them to help you get introduced to some of the potential clients of yours. It's just a way of networking that you just don't want to just let slide. You want to make sure you put a lot of emphasis on that. Once you get a contract though, you have to service that contract, as we all know. But more importantly, let's say that you get a contract and your client calls your office one day and nobody answers the phone. Or if they call your office one day and the phone is not answered properly, they start to put you in a cycle of where, wow, that doesn't sound like a professional company that I want to deal with. For an example, it's, they call you and say, someone says, yeah, what's up? That's not going to cut it. And I think all of you know that, but it's just small things like that that keeps people away from your business and giving you opportunities because they just don't feel like you put enough time into establishing the protocols you need to maintain the business that you have. I think that customer service is one of the most important things that we all need to pay attention to because it's a small business. We're just busy out there trying to get the job, but we have to maintain that customer service. The other thing too, I think is very, very important is to do the follow-up. So let's say that you're talking to a potential bidder, prime contractor, subcontractor, what have you. And they say, well, nice, thanks for coming by and talking with me. Hey, I like what you have. Why don't you give me a call in 2 weeks? Now, that's important because you should call that company, that person in 2 weeks because you're losing an opportunity there if you don't make the call. And so I've seen this happen so often where later on, if the person told you to call them in 2 weeks, you call them a month later, where they're going to say, well, look, I told you to call me in 2 weeks, you never called. So that means to me that you weren't really interested in this project. So follow-up is a system that, and you can use your Outlook calendars, any tool that you have. It's just so very important that you do the follow-up. And you're not going to get them all, but at least my tactic is to say to a person, hey, this is Gene. Yeah, we talked a couple of weeks ago, and you suggested that I call you this week. So, and I put a little humor in it. So I'm doing what I'm told. You told me to call you, so I'm calling you. Put a little levity there and humor. And so that's the way you have to really make sure that you haven't wasted your time going out looking at a potential good lead. And then you drop the ball simply because you didn't make that call. You have to make that call. And also, like I said before, you have to get into these relationships and understand where business is, where the bids are. As an example, we know where most bids are on any given day, not only in the state of California, but across the country. Because we go to websites like LAUSD, they're spending a lot of money. LACCD, spending a lot of money. Bobbin for the city of LA, they spend a lot of money. LA County. So you have to go to those websites and look at the categories in which you are working in, construction, technical service, or whatever you might have, whatever you might do. And then that's when you get into the marketing cycle again. You want to find out who those bidders are, who's competing for those contracts. And you will also find that sometimes the subcontractors are listed They may be your competitors, but you want to know that also, because that way you can structure your deal or your presentation to that general contractor in a way where you're saying that I have some better benefits, in other words, than my competitor, but you don't see it like that, of course. So those are just the key things I think that we all have to learn and do. The very small things, that can get you through the doors. So I just encourage all of you who are not members of the this organization, I mean this contract, to basically join with Meriwether, sign up, get in, and they can also talk to you about what you need to do about reaching out to these clients. They're very well versed in this. So that's what I have today for you, and I just hope that you do the follow-up, you do the relationship building that you need, and I think you'll see success.
Thank you, Gene. There's some great nuggets there on networking and getting out there before the rest of the competitors to be able to get that job. So thank you very much. And the great thing is, especially when you're talking about looking for bids for Metro, the city of Los Angeles, and the county of Los Angeles, being involved and being enrolled in the Contractor Development and Bonding Program will help you look for those and find those kinds of opportunities. So it's another benefit of the program. So now it's time for a little audience participation. We're going to take a quick poll and we need your help. So there's going to be a question that comes up on your screen, and if you could take a moment and just answer that poll and, kind of get back into the swing of things. And this is the middle of the program, halftime, and then we'll transition at this point and after it and meet some of the veteran organizations that have joined us today. So let's take a moment and check yes. No, I'm just kidding. Read the question and then make it sure. And again, keep those questions coming. We appreciate you joining us today. We've got some great information coming up. Great. Thank you, Carlos. Now we're going to move to the next part of our program, veteran resources. We've invited a number of organizations that are going to share a little bit about their organization and some of the resources that they have that are created especially for our veteran communities. First up is Rebecca Aguilera Gardiner. I'm sure I slaughtered that first part of that name. And she's the CEO.
It's okay. It's
Rebecca,
okay. Everybody does.
Okay. And she's the CEO of Veterans in Business Network, better known as VIB Network. And so it's my pleasure to introduce and welcome Rebecca.
Great. Thank you so much, Angela. Thank you, everybody, for allowing me to join you. My name is Rebecca Aguilera Gardner, like Christina Aguilera, Angela, just for next time.
Oh, okay.
And so, I am the co-founder and CEO for Veterans in Business Network. I am not the veteran, but I'm a proud daughter of a Korean War Air Force veteran. And my brother was a veteran as well, service disabled veteran. My brother-in-law was a Marine, and now my nephew is in the Air Force currently. We also own a family-owned printing business. That printing business was a DVBE and SDVOB business. We are celebrating 50 years in business this year, so we're very excited about that. And with the printing business, I was doing the sales and marketing. And with that, I was learning to utilize our certifications, our DVBE and SDVOB certifications. So with that, I was able to land large corporate clients like CVS Pharmacy, SDG&E, Southern California Edison, MetLife, just to name a few. I know that these opportunities that the DVBEs that they have available for you are real game changers for a small DVBE business like ourselves. We went from a one shift printing shift to a three shifts, so 24 hours a day, because of landing some of these contracts. So I know how important these kind of opportunities. With that in mind, we did the VIB network. We station be at no cost to the veteran business community. So we created, you can create your own VIB direct profile through our directory. Thanks to our corporate members, you'll see them all here. Thanks to those corporate members, we're able to offer the, if you can go back, I was gonna say, we're able to offer our directory for free. We wanted a streamlined approach to also accessing the veteran business community. One of the things that we would hear over and over and again is we can't find DVBEs for this opportunity. Where can we find them? So we wanted to cut that chatter out. And so we created a very easy, robust directory that anybody can have access to. So if you are a corporation, a government agency, if you're even a DVBE looking to partner with another DVBE, you can actually access our directory and find somebody. And thankfully, we also have a lot of business development programs. We have a veteran development program, a Boots to Contracts, the UCLA School of Business. All of these are free for veterans to participate. You just have to apply whenever there is something available. And like I had mentioned, the VIB is here to help the veteran business community. So create your business profile today. You can check our opportunity board for any opportunities that continually gets updated all the time. And we are getting, national opportunities as well as local Southern California opportunities. So that's something you want to make sure that you're checking all the time. Also, I will say this, you want to make sure that you're getting on our newsletter. We have a newsletter that goes out twice a month. And with that, we also share the latest opportunities that are available. We share events in our event calendar. We have amazing webinars, everything on how to utilize your certification with the CPUC. We have one of the biggest workshops that we've had, and it's called the Top 10 Secrets SDVOB Contractors Won't Tell You But Want to. It is a really in-depth webinar. So if you're able to get on that, it's a great webinar. That's on our website as well. And like I said, all veterans are invited to participate and to be part of the VIB network. We also we just launched, and we're very excited about this, a podcast. It's called the Reveille Podcast. And so we're very excited about that because that is going to give you a little more in-depth information about our corporate sponsors and the corporations that are supporting us. So it's a nice, quick 20 to 30 minute podcast. It tells you all about this particular supplier diversity personnel or procurement person. And then it goes into details about what they're looking for in a DVBE or in a veteran supplier and how to get in touch with them and what's their personal number. And it gets very deep. So I really would encourage you to listen to the podcast. We have another one that is launching this week with Donna Ruff from Union Bank right now. We have Elwin Monroe from Dexcom, who've already done one. And then we have two more coming up on the pipelines in September. And then a last thing I want to mention is that we have our big national conference in 2022 in San Diego on November 14th and 15th. We are expecting between 400 to 500 attendees. We're going to probably have over 80 exhibitor booths. That's with corporations, government agencies, and other business resource groups. We're having large corporations like T-Mobile and Shell and Hilton, as well as all of our wonderful corporations here in California, like Southern California Edison, SDG&E, the American Water. So we are California Water. So if you're really looking to utilize your certification, and this is an event you need to come to. This is going to get you face to face in front of those procurement people, the supplier diversity professionals that will help sell you to their organizations. This is, like I said, we have tons of networking throughout. I know the last 2 years have been very difficult for small businesses, especially doing Zoom. The one thing that we wanted to do for this conference is to create more touch points. So throughout this conference, we have a team building exercise where you're going to connect with corporations and government agencies in a fun team building, competitive, atmosphere. We have a tactical networking where you do your pitches and you get to connect with at least good 20 corporations. And then if you didn't meet anybody by that time, we also have one-on-one business matchmaking too. So we are thinking about putting you in front of the right people constantly during this conference. And then we have our Above and Beyond Awards. We have amazing sessions. So I really do highly encourage you to participate and come to the VIB conference. There's more information on our website at vibconference.com. And everything also is included. You'll get one ticket and it includes all the team building, all the business matchmaking, breakfast, lunch, dinners, and cocktails. So you want to make sure that you are registering as soon as possible. So with that said, like I said, make sure that you're joining the VIB directory for free. If you are a corporation, government agency, or looking for a DVBE, you can join and have access to our directory. And make sure that you are joining us at our VIB conference in November. It is going to be an amazing event. We are not holding back for this year because we've missed so many people, seeing them face to face. So we are putting everything out there for this year's conference.
Great. Thank you, Rebecca. And I have had the pleasure of attending one of your conferences. And I think it's an excellent conference for the veterans community to get together with like-minded veterans that are in business and meet all of the resources and corporations that are there looking to do business with the veteran community. Thank you so much again, Rebecca. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to be introduced to Jack Ochoa, and he is the founder of the Veteran Chamber of Commerce in Los Angeles. Welcome, Jack.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for being here. First of all, I want to thank everybody for Meriwether Williams, been around quite some time. Great resource. Use them. Get involved in their program. I've seen a lot of companies who've used them and really took off from there. So I would highly recommend, if you are a disabled veteran business or simply a veteran business, you do need to plug into the organization. It's a great resource in the community that covers a lot of land and a lot of organizations that are actually using them, like the city, the county, and Metro, who are exclusively using this organization to help them to build capacity for these businesses. So can't emphasize enough how important it is for you to be an active part of it. So as far as the Veteran Chamber of Commerce, so like many veterans, and I want to make sure you understand this specifically, like many veterans, I didn't tell anybody I was a veteran until 2019. So open mouth, sticking foot, right? And so a gentleman said, well, Jack, why don't we start a chamber for veterans? I'm like, what? I wouldn't even know where to begin. So I'm like, all right, this, if you can figure it out, I don't mind leading. So, okay, like when they say, when the line stepped up, I ended up stepping up to the front of the line, forgot to step back. So we started this Veteran Chamber of Commerce, saying, you know what, let's make it so it's neutral, right? Because there's a lot of veterans out there that don't tell anybody they're a veteran. Specifically, one of my friends who I've known for 20 plus years specifically said, I don't tell anybody I'm a veteran because I don't want to get spit on. I'm like, what are you talking about? So of course, he was a Vietnam guy, didn't know that. And so there's a lot of veteran businesses out there that don't identify. The US Census was recently able to find that there are 3,800 veterans here in LA County, probably about the same number in San Diego, probably around the same number in Orange County. So there's a big number of veterans out there, but they don't identify. They don't want anybody to know that they're out there. Either they were in Afghanistan, Iraq, Kuwait, or whatever war was out there. And a lot of them don't want to step up. They don't want to say that they're a veteran, which is kind of sad that they don't want to say, because they're afraid, which is kind of like, well, wait a minute. Then why don't we kind of, the way we're looking at our chamber is, why don't we at least get them to strategize and use their small business status as a way to get in? And so that's one of our approaches. We want to take a little bit of a different approach in order to be more inclusive of all veterans, whether they're disabled or non-disabled. And for those that just simply don't want to add to another layer of why they're not being included. So we're really looking at it more to get the barrier out of the way and open up that door. The first one that I got challenged on was to create a program or to get one agency to include all veteran businesses. So during the pandemic, October of 2020, we were able to get the Los Angeles Unified School District, the second largest school district in the country, to say, we're going to include all veterans, all veteran businesses, come on in, the door is open to you. So that's really where we look at it as, this is the beginning of more dominoes that are going to happen. I know there's an opportunity out there to get more to and be more inclusive of veteran businesses that maybe don't want to go to the VA. They don't want to add to the stigma of being disabled. Maybe that's something that I don't know personally, but at the end of the day, maybe I just don't want, they don't want to do it. So we want to be that source where all veterans are welcome. All veterans are welcome, and really want to make sure that we become that resource in order to start helping veteran businesses to elevate themselves, and more importantly, turn around and help another veteran get a job. So that is something that I bring up during most presentations, is do me a favor and please reach back and grab a veteran, create that job, and help that veteran out. So that's really what we do in a nutshell, and we're really focused on making sure that our memberships are getting the attention that they need in order to help them to scale, you know, at a small pace, but really kind of help them to see that there is a benefit to being a veteran business, as well as possibly convincing them to go get their disability rating with the VA. So it does take a little convincing. There is a gentleman that I know that is on this list. We're not going to call him out, but I know it took this person a little while to get it done, but he got it done. And I'm very proud that a veteran did handle it and got his disability rating. And now he's a DVBE in the system, which is awesome. So, so I'm just going to share my screen real fast. We do have a couple of upcoming events. So it says that I cannot share my screen. So I'm not sure who does that. Oh, there it is. All right. So we have two events that we are coming up that we have coming up. So we're doing in October, we're doing a small workshop that is going to be focused primarily on the unsolicited buying that happens every second. So yes, you heard me correctly. There is unsolicited buying that happens every second of the day. Whether it's Metro or the city or the county, there's a ton of unsolicited opportunities out there. It equates to about $1 billion that goes unsolicited that nobody knows about. So part of our training is gonna be to expose that there's an opportunity out there. So we're gonna go through 4 weeks of it. We're working in collaboration with LAX Coastal, with the Los Angeles Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce. We want to basically open this door to more organizations so they can participate. So we'll start with week 1 about how to use their veteran business strategy, leveraging the small business programs that are already in place. On week 2, we're going to talk about creating a capability statement, because a lot of veteran businesses don't have one. So we're going to walk them through that. And then we're going to talk about the unspoken policies about unsolicited opportunities that are out there that happen every second of the day. And then we're going to have a corporate panel who's going to come in and is going to evaluate their actual capability statement. We already have confirmed Chase Bank is going to come in and be on our panel. We have PG&E that's going to be there. And also several of the construction companies over at LAWA are also going to be on the panel. So that's kind of what we have coming up in October. And then we also have a celebrity golf tournament. This is the first time we've done this. We usually do it's just a regular golf tournament every October, but this time in November, we're going to do a celebrity golf tournament. We have about 25 celebrities who are going to be at this event. So we're pretty excited about that. And so we're actually going to also have a hole-in-one. It's from Mercedes-Benz, which I'm like, what? That's going to be cool. So I'm pretty excited about that. And that's going to be on November 3rd. It's a Thursday. It's a little bit of an awkward day, but that was the only day that was available. So we had to take it. So we're going to have a hole-in-one Mercedes-Benz golf, so at the golf tournament. So we're looking forward to having this. We have this publicized on our website. So we'd love to have people show up and buy a foursome so we can get more and more veterans to support our programs that we're putting in place. And that is all I have.
Thank you, Jack. And we'll make sure to get that information out to everybody on the call and everyone that's registered. Thank
Sure.
you so much. And now I'd like to introduce our good friend. It took him a while and he said, Angela, you call, I'll be there to talk to our veteran community. And I'd like to introduce William Osgood, who is with the U.S. Veteran Business Association. Bill?
Hello, I am so sorry for getting stuck on the road. I was hoping to be in front of a screen, but unfortunately I'm not. So I'll do the best I can, but I do want to thank you, Angela, and thank you, Meriwether Williams. Thank you, Jack and Rebecca. Those are two outstanding organizations. And so I really encourage all our veteran business owners to look at the resources that are out there to help your business thrive, especially now during these times as we get back into it a little bit. The US VBA is the US Veterans Business Alliance, and we are basically a chapter by chapter type of organization. We really got hit hard during the pandemic, and our meeting site is located at Bob Hope Patriotic Hall, and many of you are aware we couldn't meet there. So we tried to do an online version. I don't think we did as well at that as we probably wanted to or could have. But I just got notice that we will be starting up again live in-person chapter meetings. And what we do during chapter meetings, I think really helps to set us apart from other organizations. So what we'll do is bring in the community to help us understand the procurement process and what the opportunities are. So we have corporate sponsors like VIB, we have government agencies, local and state and even federal to an extent, that support our chapter. So we could bring in everybody from LAUSD to LA Metro to the state of California to Kiewit, Skanska, any of the large construction firms. Meriwether Williams has been a visitor many times, and it just goes on and on and on. And the whole purpose and goal of the chapter meeting is for you to be able to build one-to-one personal relationships so that you can decide who and how and when and where to pursue business opportunities that can benefit your business. So I will get the word out as soon as I can confirm a date and get started again. I am really looking forward to meeting again at Bob Hope Patriotic Hall. It is a beautiful facility that really just speaks to veterans and speaks to everything that we are about as an organization. So I want to encourage you to take a look at all of our organizations, find the one or more that are great for you, and then to be able to participate fully so that you can take advantage of the benefits that are offered by the organization. I think all of us have one thing in common. We are a tremendous resource for your business. We probably collectively know more people than I'd say many other people combined. And the experience levels of all three organizations and their members is really off the charts. And so it doesn't really matter what organization that you want to use as a support tool, but my encouragement to you would be to use these organizations to help grow your business and to build relationships that can help grow your business. So I really believe that with together as veterans, we are a lot stronger than we are when we go together or when we go. It's one of the benefits of work, whether it's the VIB, the Veteran Chamber of Commerce, the UNBA. We very much believe in helping each other grow our business.
Okay. Bill, I think we're losing you.
Yeah, I think his service may have cut out.
All righty. Thank you, Bill. Okay. Well, I'd like to please join me in thanking all of our presenters today, Jack, Rebecca, and Bill. I certainly appreciate Bill's commitment, and as he with the dedication of to drive and make a presentation. I'm impressed. Oh, he's still talking. Oh.
Everything from that to contracts to hiring veterans. If your company believes it's something like research for you, so you don't have to go manage one. And I think that's
we're breaking up.
way to
Oh, okay, yeah, I think, but you get the gist of his commitment. And that's how we feel about our whole veteran community. And I hope that you would take advantage of all of the resources that we've brought you, the Contractor Development and Bonding Program. I hope that you found that resourceful and helpful. We're going to be following up with all of you to get you enrolled in the program. Not only will we be presenting you with Metro opportunities, but other opportunities also that are clients of Meriwether and Williams Insurance Services. You've met Rebecca with VIB Network, Jack with Veterans Chamber, and also Bill with USVBA. And so there's some great resources here, and we're all part of your veteran community, and we're rooting for you. And so again, I hope you found our program resourceful and found it valuable and invaluable as well. We'll be following up to see how we can help you connect with Metro. We'll also make sure that you get contact information from today's guests, and we'll send out copies of all of the presentations. Let's check back with Rick to see if we've got some questions that we may need to have answered.
No, Angela, everybody's good. I've answered all their questions. Everybody was asking for copies of the slides and contact information. And as you mentioned, we'll be providing that to everyone, hopefully sometime this week.
Great, thank you, Rick. And so again, I just want to let you know, Rick would be your point of entry, your account manager to Metro. And when you indicate your interest to be a part of the program, he will walk you through the assessment, make sure you get your marketing collateral together, and then you can take advantage of all of the services that Lakeisha and Robert mentioned. And it's just a lot of resources that have been made available at no cost to you. And so I really, really hope that you will take advantage of it. Let me shout out and thank you, Lakeisha and Robert. Do you have any final comments before we adjourn?
I don't, but I want to thank everyone for participating. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to really find out some invaluable information about what our program offers and all the other resources that are available to you. And I love what Bill said is that we are a tremendous resource to you. We work in partnership. So you identify the best organization that you would like to work with. And again, we will support you in all your endeavors as you move through the public works contracting. Thank you again. And we appreciate you being here.
Yeah, so my little closing comments is, I'm excited to offer my services to you. It's a passion of mine. Like Lakeisha said, it's been 30 years of doing this. So if you are currently on a public works project or any project, we're still here to help you to get enrolled, and the service is free. So I can still give you some technical advice to help you with your current projects. And if you are on a project and your financing is a little bit shaky, it's tough times, we can do a forensics on the CFAP and try to get you some money to help you complete the project. So there's many ways that we can provide service to you. But please reach out to us and we will do the best that we can. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Robert. And thank you so much again, guys, for attending. And again, on behalf of Meriwether and Williams Insurance Services and the Contractor Development Program, I'd like to thank our guest speakers from Metro, VIB Network. We missed Navoba, we'll get them next time. We also heard from Bill at U.S. Veteran Business Alliance. I'm still impressed that he was presenting and driving. And Jack, of course, our friend at Veterans Chamber of Commerce, and our advocate, Gene Hale from GNC Equipment. And that's it for us today. And thank you so much, guys, and have a very good evening. We'll be in touch. Thank you.
Thank you.